I feel like week one premiere night is always one of my personal favorites because you're not only meeting so many people and there's so much to take in, but it's just like lively and exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we wanted to bring you on at the top to recap all of this because, you know, I'm sure all of us girls have many thoughts on these men. And Tayshia, you were obviously there. So I want you to actually take this at the top. Give us your like overall feels of night one with Katie.
Absolutely. But also, it's going to be really exciting to hear your guys' take as you just watched the episode, because I was there and I saw a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be really fun to get your guys' input. Also, Heather makes the funniest comments about all these dudes. And like, I just cannot wait to get started. This is going to be good.
Yes. One thing I want to start off by saying is I loved you and Kaitlyn being there. I loved that you guys were peeking through the window the entire time. Like you could go out and check on her and get your own take on the men, but it's just such a different vibe when you have just like this badass girl gang that I loved. So yeah, obviously it starts off by you and Kaitlyn rolling up in a convertible, riding through the desert. And I love the fact that you guys get out of the car and it's like you weren't even windblown. Like you were just ready to go in your dresses. You looked stunning. What was that like then, you know, knowing that you were going to surprise Katie and be able to be her confidant and mentor? Because she had no idea you were coming.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I wish there were bloopers for that because Kaitlyn and I actually got stuck in the middle of the desert. We hit like a pothole and like the car wouldn't turn back on because it was stick shift. And it was
who was driving? Who was driving?
Kaitlyn. If I was driving, we wouldn't have made it. Okay. So she was definitely driving. And it was just so fun. I mean, her and I were both pretty nervous just because this is new territory for us too. But like we've been in her shoes, but we haven't been in the position we were in.
Mm-hmm.
But we could not wait to get there and just help her out. We were freaking out. In fact, I almost think we both peed our pants like walking up to her because we were trying to be so quiet because she had no idea that we were there. But it was just so fun surprising her and being able to just like really hold her hand through this entire journey. Well, we could actually relate like firsthand that we've been literally standing there waiting for limos to drive up, talking to these guys, experiencing those first impressions, and it's a lot for one person to handle, let alone not really have like a sounding board to kind of like just bounce off any and every thought that you have. So it was really freaking fun. And I'm not going to lie, some of those guys were crazy coming out of the limo. You didn't see half of it, but it was amazing.
Let's talk about the limo arrivals because there wasn't anything like super, super wild. Like, there was some, you know, costumes, some gimmicks, but for the most part, it was like fairly straightforward and tame. So let's go through because I don't want to cover all 30 men because, as you said, like it went so fast. We didn't see a lot of them.
Right.
So for both Heather and Tayshia, what was your favorite limo arrival, would you say?
Heather, I have to hear yours because I know it's going to be good.
Well, I think, and I forgot his name. Is it Thomas? It's the tall guy because I'm tall, so I'm attracted to tall people. He's tall. He's got dark hair. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The bow tie,
the
right?
First guy out of the limo.
First guy out of the limo.
Yeah. I thought he was just like good looking, but not crazy good looking, like not model, too much of a model. Like he was still a relatable looking guy.
Right.
And he has really good eye contact and he's pretty charming. So for me, that was probably the one that I would have given my rose to.
He's
so
hot.
Do you usually like it to be short and simple and sweet like how his was? Like he didn't have any gimmicks coming out? Or do you like the craziness like the guy with the RV or the guy with the truck?
I'm not into that, but I do think it adds to the show that, you know, hey,
right.
a guy's willing to go do some different first impression thing, fine. But I think just like a good looking guy in a cute suit and kind of see if that moment there, you sometimes really can see if there's initial chemistry as a viewer, like you can see it through the TV. So I kind of just like the straightforwardness of just, but like the guy that brought the watch that started to say this was my grandmother's I was immediately thinking like, oh my God, like seriously, the first night, like if this really means anything to you, this is gonna be so awkward when you ask for it back. And then he was like, no, I'm not a creep, I got it at the airport. So I thought that was pretty
it was really good.
Clever.
That was like actually funny.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah.